my biggest question now is like, how is your time management? How are you doing this all?
You can ask me all the questions. I know we've got questions that you've put down, but we can talk about anything. So it talks about time management, and this is a really good question. So in 2016, again, when all of this has just sort of come together at the same time, there's some divine intervention or something that has pushed me down this route, because in 2016, and I'm a big Liverpool football fan. Have you ever heard of Liverpool Football Club?
Yes.
Have you?
I actually have heard about it. Because I traveled a bit throughout Europe and everything, and I definitely met lots of people that were obsessed with the footballers out there.
Yeah, okay. So Liverpool Football Club is my team. I'm a massive fan. I absolutely love and adore them. And I try and go to every home, the first home game and the final home game every season. So I went to the traditional home game of the season. I always meet my friend. I stay at his apartment, and we were basically having a drink before the game. And he's very entrepreneurial. He was just founding his first business. And he said to me, have you ever heard this guy called Tim Ferriss? I said, no, never heard of Tim Ferriss. Who is he? He said, oh, you'll love him. Check him out. So on the train journey back, I downloaded his podcast, and it was a podcast interview with Jamie Foxx, which turns out to be his most downloaded, his most popular episode ever. And I was infatuated with this guy. From that moment on, I read his book, which is the 4-Hour Work Week, and just delved in from there. And a big part of 4-Hour Work Week is about the power of delegating, the power of outsourcing. And I have tapped into that since day one. And so when it comes to time management, and again, this hasn't been forever. This is literally very recently. So I work Monday to Thursday, 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. That's it. 100% that's it. You try and catch me outside of those hours, and you'd be very lucky to get a reply. Why? Because I've been there, and I've worn the t-shirt in hospitality. I've done it such the wrong way. I've done it such like a very typical, like following my dad and my mum's footsteps in this. My dad's a Yorkshire farmer. He wakes up at 5. He works literally from 5 o'clock in the morning to the very, very late at night. And my mum, again, works very, very hard all the time. And I just thought you had to follow suit. Badge of honor, I working hard and busy. And I've done silly hours. The problem with that is that I missed my Alfie, my eldest, and my middle child, like growing up for the first few years of their life. I would literally see him in the morning, see him at night, and that's really it. And so when we had the idea for creating Boostly, one of the core things of me was that I wanted to make sure I was here for the boys as much as possible. And so I've literally developed a work routine to fit around that, so I can spend as much time with my wife and the boys as possible. And, you know, it took a long time to figure out. I've made mistakes along the way with like the hours that I work. I used to think that meant getting up at 4:30 a.m. and trying to cram it all in before 9 a.m., which is never going to work when you've got 3 young children. But what I do, I've just really focused down on what my 80-20 is. So what 20% of tasks are going to drive the business 80% forward. And I've learned from some amazing people. I've read some amazing books along the way. And every task that I shouldn't be doing, I either automate it or I delegate it. And we've got over 10 developers, web developers in the Philippines and Bali who do a lot of the work. And so I've either automated it or outsourced it to the point now where I'm only doing the tasks that I love doing, like content creation, like this. I absolutely adore it. I love meeting people. I love building relationships in this industry, talking to amazing people like you and TJ and Kira. I saw Kira's in the chat and so many other cool people that I've met this year from Instagram and Clubhouse and just driving the business forward and helping as many people as possible. So yeah, time management is a big thing.
Having a blast, gonna get it on the Boostly podcast. Boostly like Bruce Lee, cause it's so hard and the T is loose leaf. Making up those rhymes, don't write it, just do it loosely.